Oh man, let me get this out of the way for you. That's some good popcorn. So, AG Barr doesn't want to stop talking. I mean, he's just telling everything that needs to be said. And Nancy Pelosi, well, she just got done with impeachment, so why wouldn't she be excited? She doesn't want to take any questions. Wait, what? Let's get to the video.
While we watch all the liberals celebrate for this impeachment that they don't even know doesn't mean removal, you've got people like Nancy Pelosi going out and making speeches like this. And then after that, I've got to show you a little quick bit of William Barr, AG William Barr. He's going to get us somewhere. All right, let's check this out first.
Frankly, I don't care what the Republicans say. Any other questions? Not on this subject. I've said this is it. I honored Nancy.
Do you run the risk as some Republicans have said, looking like you're playing games with impeachment if you hold on to these articles for too long?
I said what I was going to say, Nancy. When we bring the bill, which is, just so you know, there's a bill made in order by the Rules Committee that we can call up at any time in order to send it over to the Senate and to have the provisions in there to pay for the impeachment. And then the next step, the whatever you want to call it, the trial. That is where you put the managers. I was not prepared to put the managers in that bill yet because we don't know the arena that we are in. Frankly, I don't care what the Republicans say. Any other questions? Not on this subject. I've said this is it. I honored Nancy.
Last night you suggested you need to see a fair process in the Senate.
Well, we'd like to see a fair process, but we'll see what they have, and we'll be ready for whatever it is. Yes, Chad. We would hope there would be a fair process, just as we hope that they would honor the Constitution. By the way, I saw some of it, I didn't see it, but I heard some of what Mitch McConnell said today, and it reminded me that our founders, that when they wrote the Constitution, they suspected that there could be a rogue president. I don't think they suspected that we could have a rogue president and a rogue leader in the Senate at the same time. Yes, Matt. Any other questions on any of this? Anybody want to talk about Mexico Free Trade Agreement? Anybody care about that? Jobs for the American people, progress in addressing globalism and the issues. Anybody want to talk about the SALT tax?
Trump's saying that she's trying to take credit for it. It sat on her desk for so long without having anybody care about it, and now she's wanting to talk about it in the press conference rather than talking about her disgustingly bad impeachment. There's a lot of Democrats who have a hard time pulling the lever for impeachment or removal with the flimsy evidence and the bullying that went on in the House of Representatives. So there's a lot of speculation that the vote is going to be bad for both parties because they're going to be we already know of two people that I think that have said they're now joining the party. They're leaving the Democrat plantation and actually joining the Republican Party. So having that means everything. I mean, that's what it's all about. And so she knows that if it goes there and fails, that if she can sit here and scream that it's going to be unfair, then once it fails, she can then continue to scream that it was unfair and try to keep her political capital that way, because political capital is what it's all about. But the next clip is going to be pretty awesome. It's Bill Barr letting this interviewer know how serious these charges from the FBI are, and basically that, well, I think that things are going to happen. We've got some bad characters that are going to be going down. Let's check it out. I cut this out of a 24-minute video. I definitely recommend checking it out. This thing is brutal. But this is a short, sweet, and to-the-point clip that William Barr does a great job of explaining the kind of basics of what happened. Listen, they never thought she'd lose. It's that simple.
Based on what you know so far, do you still stand by your statement that the campaign was spied upon?
Well, it's clearly spied upon. I mean, that's what electronic surveillance is. I think wiring people up to go in and talk to people and make recordings of their conversations is spying. I think going through people's emails, which they did as a result of the FISA warrant, they went through everything, from Page's life.
Because he wasn't in the campaign at the point where
No,
they began the surveillance.
Yes, but his emails go back. I mean, the main reason they were going for the FISA warrant initially was to go back historically and seize all his emails and texts and all that stuff from back months and even years. So they were covering the period that he was in the campaign, and that's exactly the reason they went for the FISA, to get that stuff.
So what do you think, what questions will John Durham address that the IG didn't?
Well, Durham is looking at the whole waterfront. He is looking at the issue of how it got started. He's looking at whether or not the narrative of Trump being involved in the Russian interference actually preceded July and was in fact the precipitating trigger for the investigation. He's also looking at the conduct of the investigation. There are some things that were done in the investigation that are not included in Horowitz's report, and he's looking at those things. But also, a few weeks ago, I told him that he should spend just as much attention on the post-election period. And I did that because of some of the stuff that Horowitz has uncovered, which to me is inexplicable.
Inexplicable.
Well, what I said is their case collapsed after the election, and they never told the court, and they kept on getting renewals on these applications. There was documents falsified in order to get these renewals. There was all kinds of withholding of information from the court. And the question really is, what was the agenda after the election that kept them pressing ahead after their case collapsed? This is the President of the United States.
You, of course, went to 3.
Now that interview is 24 minutes long, and it's almost all as juicy as that. I might just do another video where I watch the whole thing and comment on it, because that is some amazing stuff. But it's what we're talking about. We know that this is what happened. They've been trying to spoon feed us a story that just didn't make sense, and that's because they were hiding a lot of stuff, and it's coming full circle. And that's what we've been waiting for. So let's get the popcorn ready, right? I would say it looks like 6 months before this report comes out, from what I understand. Summer of next year, 2020, right before the election gets real crazy. Boy, oh boy.